Hi everyone, this is Cathy. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be planning in my Hobonichi Weeks for January 27th through February 2nd. So I started this planning process and I was recording, and then I had a phone call that came into my phone that I'm recording with. It interrupted what I was doing, obviously recording the situation here. And then when I went to go play back where I had left off so I can continue the planning process with you, I realized that I was recording the entire thing in slow motion. So I don't think you have 2 hours of your time to watch this plan with me today. So let me go and just recap for you. I apologize. I've already set up the framework of how I'm going to be planning in my weeks today. I've outlined the perimeter. I've used my Hobonichi weather stickers. Actually, they're not from Hobonichi. They're from Paper Aquarius, but I like to use them in my Hobonichi is what I'm trying to say here. Yeah, I'm just that wasn't very smooth of me. All right, so we'll just go ahead and get started again. And if you hear background noises, I apologize. I have a 4-year-old who's running around like a madman because he's been home for 2 days. I always notice that with my son, he by like Sunday afternoon, he is so full of energy and like kind of in this mode of like, can I just go to school now? I need to leave the house. Like, I've been with you for 2 days. So if you hear him in the background, I apologize. I will try to cut that out as much as possible. All right, so let me just show you my previous week. I used pen mostly and my mild highlighter that I picked for the week, which was pink. I used the Alistair task method when it comes to the items that I completed throughout the week. And basically you'll see that everything was pretty much completed. I scratched out items that ended up not applying. All right, so I'm pretty much going to use this very similar method in terms of my appointments or events on the date specific sections, and then I'm going to have my list of things that I need to get done for the week. So very similar to what you see here is what I will be doing again for this week coming up. So with that, we will go ahead and get started. So last week I decided to use the circle for those items that I had to do that were time specific, but not necessarily an appointment that I had to be there for that entire period of time. It was more for like my sons having to drop them off at school at time specific and so forth. So I think for this week, I'm going to go ahead and do that same format. So I'm going to be using the circle for kind of the to-dos at a specific time. And then I'll be using the triangles because I do have a couple of appointments this week that I will need to be there for an extended period of time. And then once I kind of lay everything out with my pen, then I will actually then go in and kind of go through my sticker stash to see what decorations I'd like to be expressive with this week. And that's usually if you haven't seen any of my previous plan with me, you'll notice that that's kind of how I plan in my weeks. So for this week, I do want to do a little bit, something just a tiny bit different and show you my cousin that I use along with the weeks. This is something that's kind of new to my channel. I did do an introduction to my cousin for 2020, and I'm trying to be more specific in what I use the cousin for and my weeks. So today I'm just going to show a little bit of how I'm using the information I store in my weeks to help with my planning for this coming week. So through my normal planning routine, what I would do next is go into my monthly spread, which is this here, to see what items I have coming up. I have my appointments and so forth that I keep in my weekly. And then in my cousin, what I've done is I've been a little bit more detailed in what I'm providing as far as appointments and to-dos, and I've expanded a little bit more in my cousin version, where in my weeks I'm kind of using a scaled down version of my monthly overview. So I'm going to set my weeks aside for just a second. I'm going to show you what I'm doing in my cousin that will be different from my weeks, and my weeks that's different from my cousin. Here, what you see here in front of you is going to be my weekly view in the cousin for the week that I'm planning today. So I've already outlined, I've done a lot of pre-planning already for this week, and I didn't record any of this, but basically what I've done is I've listed out, my morning tasks and throughout each day of the week, and then I have my afternoon tasks. And the reason why I felt like I need this view is because I wanted to make sure that there was nothing conflicting with each other when it comes to the things that I have to get done. So what I've highlighted in red for these blocks of time is going to be work, and then anything that's in between, anything that's written in that highlighted section is not work related. So I know it's going to conflict with the working schedule that I have, so I need to make proper arrangements. This is kind of like just that, this is my way of mapping out my week so that I know what I need to get done. So how my Hobonichi Cousin week view is different from my week's view in my everyday carry is I'm only going to write things in the blank space that are day specific that I need to be mindful of when I'm out and about commuting or at the store or doing whatever. So my cousin stays at my desk at home. So this isn't going with me unless, I'm maybe going to Starbucks and I want to spend some time just kind of looking through my pages and do some journaling. But really this Hobonichi Cousin is staying at home for the most part. And so what I'm going to do now is kind of extract the information out of my cousin and put that into my weekly view now. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to set this aside a little bit and we'll go ahead and start writing in my events. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this here. That might be easier to write because I'm finding that with this book, because you have that, that lip over of where you are in this book, it's kind of hard to write. So I think I'm going to use my cousin as a week's stand. All right, that's going to complete my plan with me for this week. So I have everything in here that I will need to be mindful of when I'm out and about on the road. Thanks for stopping by, and I will talk to you again soon.